Hi guys, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
So how are you all doing? So how was the webinar, man? Was it useful? Tell me the true answer.
Sir, it is fine, sir.
Okay,
Because what I have thought is after listening to the webinar and after seeing the students' questions, I thought what we have been since 1 month, it is like we're not going to other places, not being charged, but we are getting good knowledge.
good. Okay. So whatever he addressed, you think we are already doing it?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'm so happy to hear that. Vishnu and Balaji, any comments?
So actually, our college also conducted the webinar at the same time, sir. So we could not concentrate on our air mates, sir.
Okay, no problem. That's your choice, man. You're free to choose whatever you want to attend, right? That's okay, right?
It's actually mandatory, sir, for our college.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, sir. Thank you.
That's okay, man. I understand. That's okay.
But I actually listened the partial when he was saying about placement. Uh, what are the qualities should we have to be placed? Those things I listened, sir. It was super, sir.
You'll get the video tomorrow. You should get the video of the slides. So you can have it.
Okay, sir.
But don't miss on Friday. It's important topic on the 5G technology, and there won't be any recording for that. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Sure, sir.
Okay, let's get started. I think yeah, we have most people coming in. Okay. So I sent an email about 6 days before. We wanted to have an innovation idea, like no discussions today. Right? That's why I notified. Yeah, now only realizing that. Did anybody get to prepare for that? That's first point. I think I have to send you the mini CPU spec. I think I've not done it. So yeah, we'll postpone that thing and tomorrow I'll try and prepare. Yeah, so yeah, I'll give a new date for that to complete. You get it.
Email, email.
Pardon? Yeah, and also gave you some homework to complete by end of this month. I gave you a 8251 data sheet. So please get started with that, right? I sent you a data sheet location and who has to do what, right? So please start preparing. And yeah, you'll have to, there'll be a seminar on 30th of September on that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I'll have to reschedule this, the innovation idea webinar. I'll do that. And the mini CP also have to prepare for that. Yeah, I think yeah, I've not got time. So let me sit and do that. Right. Today is Tuesday, right? We'll do that and let me see. So this Thursday will be there, Friday. Okay. So this Saturday, Sunday, I'm not going to be there out till next Tuesday. Also, I'm not going to be there. So let me see if one of them will have either leadership class or something on this Saturday, Sunday. I'll check out them. So we're going to lose two classes. So I'll have to compensate for that. So we'll have one compensation class this week and one compensation class next week. Okay. So maybe we should do on Friday, Thursday and Friday. Let us see. Okay. And next week we'll have one more class. Okay, let's go back. Share screen. Let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. So we saw about SRAM. So you got complete understood the SRAM what we discussed last week. I gave you homework also to be completing today. You're not able to see SRAM slide, very bad. Let me see. Yeah, okay. There's some issue here. Let me see. One second. Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah. So the SRAM, I gave a homework to do the test benches in a different way. Have you guys finished?
No,
Today,
sir, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
yeah, we said to complete today, right? I asked you to do the tasks and code the test bench more efficiently, right? That's what it is due today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And all the past homeworks also we have to complete, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so please complete. Please take it very seriously, right? It's very, very important. So I'll send an email. I want to know. Yeah, please resend me the links, right? So the way, because I'm not getting time to evaluate. So what we'll do is, so whatever the email is there, we sent it out a few days before, right? I want each one of you to reply and put the links for all the labs. You can send the email only to me, and I'll set up 1 hour meeting with you, each of you, or half an hour meeting with each of you, and walk through the all the your simulation results and everything. That's only one way we can complete, right? So I'll try and do it. So I'll start. So who replies to me, I'll do it. And I know you have been sending, but who does not get. If you have got feedback from me, it is okay. I think so. People like Balaji has been getting me feedback, and Pawan has been getting me feedback. So somebody didn't get feedback from me. So make sure that you put everything in one email and send it. I'll set up a one separate meeting with them, and I'll walk through and help you. All right? We'll do that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Please do that. If you're waiting for my feedback, I've not told you anything. Yeah, please put everything in one email and send it, and we'll have separate meeting, separate one-on-one meeting, and we'll walk through that. Okay. Any questions on the memory SRAM? What we discussed last week? Either on the what is SRAM or what is a Verilog code, the model of that, right? So any questions? No questions? Guys, give me till you answer. Yes, no, you
No,
understood.
sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No, nobody has any questions. Anybody has questions, please raise the hand. Okay, let me ask some questions since nobody has doubts. So, what do you mean by chip select? Let me ask Girish. I told something called chip select, right? What is it? Girish?
Yes, sir. I'm just recollecting it.
Yeah.
I don't know, sir. It will select the ICs.
Now, with respect to SRAM, you're talking about SRAM, right? So, what does a chip select in SRAM mean? We wrote a Verilog code also for that, right? Okay, anybody else raise the hand? Anybody know the answer? What is a chip select?
Sir, chip select enables SRAM, sir.
Very good. Yes. When chip select is active, it may be low or active, high, we don't know. So when it is active, then it will enable the SRAM and you'll be able to do a read or write operation. Right? Without the active chip select, you cannot access the memory. Right? You cannot do any read, you cannot do any write operation. Okay? That's what is chip select. Very good. Okay. Okay, and you know what is the address? Let's say if you have a 16 address lines, how much of memory range you can address?
KB, sir.
Why, man? So 16 is 64 KB. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's all of you understand. Right? 2 raised to 16 is 64K, right? So that's how you get that. Okay. Okay. Let's do ROM. ROM is very similar to this. I'm going to copy this slide and I'm not prepared slide. Sorry about it. I want to. Okay, let's do what is a ROM. What is a ROM?
Read-only memory.
Non-volatile memory.
Okay. Non-volatile. Okay, very good. And you'll have address, you'll have the data. You'll have data only output. There is no input, right? It's only read only, right? And there is no write signal, correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's write a new code for this. Let's use this code and let's see if we can modify that. Yeah, give me 1 minute. I have to do some work here. Okay, I'll have to share this screen also now. Let me share this screen. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we go. I'll have to copy this. Okay, we get a new code, basic ROM, say, right, and ROM, there's no input, output, there's no write, correct? There's no D in, and there's no write. Okay, and there's no write. All right, and here also there's no write. TV ROM. I'm going to show you command here now. Address data in is not there. And there's no data in. And there's no write. Are you able to follow what I'm doing? Are you able to follow, right?
Yes, sir. Removing the writable parts of the code
Right, exactly.
design, sir.
Okay, so this is not there. There's no D in. There's no write. Oops. Okay, and how do you do this? Command called read memh. I need to do it somewhere. Okay, you want to dump the memory width of content. I don't know what is the syntax for that. Read memh. How do you dump a content? How does it, where do you store that file if you put it here, right? Okay, and how big is the memory? 32-bit, right? Okay, so where do we keep a memory here? Read memh. Okay. Mem.text, right? What did I say? Okay, so you have to put some stories here. H, AA, HBB, HCC. So I'm creating a memory content, okay? This content will be loaded in the memory. I'm putting some random values. Let's do only 10 locations, we'll change it. Dead beef, I'm forgetting it, right? So we'll save it, okay? So mem.text, so now I have to recap with my address. So what did I, no, I'll get 10 locations, right? So here I have to change, let's change the address to 1. Change the address to 5, address to 4, 8. Okay, understand? You guys followed what I did? Let me run it. If it works, I'll explain. Wow, error. What is error? Read mem takes multiple arguments. Array size is greater than 2 raised to 24 bits. Why is this message? Okay, anyway. This is an error. Takes 2 to 4 arguments. I think it's address and data. Let's look at Mr. Google. I thought I'll remember. See, this is the problem, right? I forgot what it is. It's not the one. Let's see this. Memory array you have to give. Okay. Okay, you have to give what is okay, while and the test memory. Okay, forgot what it is. Okay, understood. Okay, come here. File name and the memory name. What is the file name is in code, comma, what are you calling that instance? What is the module name? Change to ROM. I need to change it here, right? So this is a typical mistakes will happen. So don't worry, you and I made mistakes. We have not worked on for a long time. So let's see. If it runs, I'll explain it to you on everything. Now, error. Undeclared identifier right. Wow, why is that? See. Okay, worked. What is the waveform? My data is all X and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. What I have to do? This is disabling. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do is, let me see if we can move this guy here. What is his example set? u_rom.mem, right? It have worked with mem_h. Mem.text we have defined this way, right? What is the mem.text is? It's very detailed. I don't remember any of those things. Let's try one thing. Let me comment this guy here and move him inside this. Let's see what happens there. No, it doesn't work. Address 1348, but your data nothing is coming. Is there anything wrong in the design? If select chiplet is 1, read is 1, what is the address that goes to the output, right? Why it doesn't work? You're good, man. I think you are learning something to debug. Okay, maybe I should show you what I'm doing, otherwise you'll not understand. Let me see. Address is changing, but data is not coming. Okay, so let me explain. So I don't know how much. So there's a command called read memh, right? I'm trying to instantiate the component called memory, the contents of mem.text, right? Whatever mem.text is here. So whatever you put in the mem.text, so that's going to read here. Say unexpected sign expected. I'm going to file line number 1. Why is it? Unexpected line. Maybe he doesn't understand this. Quite possible. No, H is 16 tick only, right? No, 32-bit, right? Hexadecimal is only 16, right? No, hexadecimal can be any number. Let's see if this works or not. I made some change. Yeah, you got some data. Very good. Yeah, but I don't know why. Only for the chip select goes here only. So 4 getting 1 1 2 2 3 3, and 5 for 8 you are getting this one, right? So 4 lemur value 1 1 2 2 3 3, and the 8 is 1 0 1 0 5 0. Right? 4, right? 0 1 2 3 4, right? Correct? 4 is correct, and 8 is what? 1 0 5 0 4 4 yeah, right? Correct, right? So let's understand how it works. So this code, hope you understand. I've not touched anything. I just changed the inputs here, and I remove the right part of it. If read is there, put this. And this code is this is a function $read memh, little $display kind of command, right? So there's a file called mem.text we create. And that content of that file is going to get loaded in this particular array called mem. You're just loading that contents into that particular mem because there's a ROM, right? You have to have some default values. So this Verilog construct allows you to do that, right? You can go and look at the manual that will have more details on how to use it. I'm not going to teach it here, right? So you have to read it by yourself, right? And if here you come, this is the same code. I've not done anything. Except commented the right part. I keep changing the addresses here. Right, with the chip select 0, chip select 1. And let's see if we can get this code to the other side. Let's work or not. If we get this code here, the testbench side, should work. Yeah, it worked. See? Understand, right? This code is here or not. See how you are doing. You're doing a hierarchical referencing here. U underscore ROM is here. And inside that, there's a component called mem. So you go and put it there. So I don't have to put this code here, right? This is okay. It's going to work. My test bench will have everything. Okay, let's do some more read cycles. So what address should I read? I read the 11. Okay. Equal to 1. Okay. Fine. So what address given? I didn't give any address. No, my bad. I didn't give address. So 10. Decimal 10, right? Just give 10. So if you don't give anything, it should be decimal. Let's see what happens. I'm getting X. Something happens. Address is A. Why the data is coming X? A. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's actually 9, okay? It's not 8. Right? Right is 9, no? Ninth position, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, okay, you don't have it. Ninth position. So 10th line, but 0 to 9, right? So this may work. Dead beef should get dead beef. See? So I made mistakes. So you're getting a live demonstration. And while doing, I'm doing mistakes, you learn. So how many mistakes I did? How many mistakes I did? Can somebody tell?
Four, sir.
What are the 4 mistakes? Yeah, thanks for your counting. That's so nice of you. But what are the mistakes I did? So you have to learn from those mistakes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, each one of you tell one mistake.
Sir, in the test bench, we need to put the memory text that you have made first mistake, sir. Later
Okay.
corrected.
Okay. Next. Another person.
In
Girish.
some places in test bench, you forgot to write.
Yeah, one right was defined but is not declared. Okay, I fixed it.
One input was wrong, sir.
Which input?
I don't know which input it was wrong, sir. But got error. That 32 head, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's the mem dot text, right? Format
Yes,
of
sir.
this file. Format of this file was wrong. Let's look at this format. I guess you can specify address also there, no? Anyway, you have to read the understand this part. Memory read is a very powerful command for simulation, right? Sometimes you can specify the address and data also there. Okay, so what else? What other mistakes I did? I didn't give
Sir,
that. I gave only one argument. I got this wrong, right? I didn't specify this particular part, right? I gave the file name. I didn't tell to which memory it has to load.
Yes, sir.
That was a mistake. Very good. So did all of you any questions on this? Vishnu, you understand? Vishnu, you were able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yogesh?
Yeah. The only thing I want to know is, are we using the text file to simulate the memory, like the storing the memory?
Mm-hmm.
Is that's what we're doing, right? Then, but then in reality, there's no text file we can store, right?
Yep. This is just a modeling, right? This was a simulation purpose.
Okay. So how would it be if it's synthesized?
Okay, it's a chip. Let's say you're making a chip, right? So there is something called metal layers, right? So in the chip, so in the metal layers, we'll have to fuse them. So the binary memory image ROM image will be there. The designers will provide. If I'm designing a ROM, I'll have a image file for that. What is the content of the ROM? I'll know, right? Because I'm designing the chip. So I'll give that particular binary values to the person doing the physical design of the chip, and they'll have to program. They'll have a flow to go and program, set those bits to 1. Okay.
Okay.
So it will be clear. I think I want to show you the CMOS diagram of a memory. Let me Google out and search because I'm not prepared. So I want to show you SRAM CMOS representation, so it will be clear. All right. And yeah, let's see if we can do it. I want to talk about something else, then we'll go to maybe next class I'll come prepared. So you need to understand at CMOS level. I think you all understand CMOS, NAND gate, and other gates I have shown in the very first class, right? I want to show you CRAM, the CMOS cell for a SRAM, one bit memory. How does the CMOS implementation looks like? You need to understand that. Maybe some 6 transistors or 8 transistors will come for one location, right? Only particular going for the dynamic RAM, that's going to be very, very important for you. So I'll do it in the next class. I'll come prepared for that, right? So yeah, so I'll do one thing. Let's copy this. Let me make the slide complete. Okay. Oops.
how to check if the given if the code that we have done is non-volatile, sir?
One second. I'm saving something here. I'll get confused. Give me a minute. I'm trying to save something. Okay, just saved in some name. Yes, Sriram, what is your question? Sriram?
Yes, sir. This is Rome, right, sir? So
Yeah.
this should be non-volatile. How to verify that, sir, in Verilog, whether if it is non-volatile or not?
There is no right pin, no? You will not be able to write it at all. Correct? In the design, didn't have a right pin. There's only read pin. There's a D out, no? There is no D in or a write. So you'll not be able to write anything. So it's going to have only unless you go and change the values in the mem.text, your contents will not change. Correct?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is how you model the ROM. I think you read what is the read mem fetch. Let me see what I have to teach you then. Okay, DRAM. I'll briefly tell what is a DRAM. Maybe I have to open a. Okay, what does I have to tell DRAM? Okay, let me show DP RAM. I think I've not done it here. Let me put it here. Dual port RAM. Let me talk about dual port RAM, right? Then we'll go to the other memories. Dual port RAM. So what is a dual port RAM? What do you think? Can you guess? Okay. So you'll have one read port and one write port. So you can read and write in parallel.
Okay, sir.
So there's called dual. It has two ports. So it's like ROM on one side is on. Yeah, you can define the spec however you want. So simultaneously you want to do a read and write. In the SRAM you can do either read operation or write operation, right? Right. So what does
Yes,
it have?
sir.
Here? So port. Let's define the ports. What are the ports it will have? So port A will have address A, data in A, write A, chip select A, right? Address B, D out B, read B, chip select B, right? These are the signals what will have. Understand? So write A, the port A is a write for a write operation, and port B can only read. So what is the difference between SRAM and the DP-RAM?
DP RAM is 2 times faster than SRAM, sir.
No, I'm not looking at one. Tell you. So you can read, write, and write simultaneously. It may not be 2 times, but you're not comparing the performance here, right? So SRAM means,
Okay.
yeah, I agree. In a nutshell, it is faster. Right? You can, in the same cycle, you can do one write operation, one read operation in parallel, right? Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah. And there are various varieties of DP-RAM we can do. I can do a write and read in one port and only read in one port. Right? We can do that also. There are many varieties you can design how the way you want, because you're the designer spec, right? The port A can do both write and read operation, and port B is only read operation, right? So we'll see that variety also. I'll show it to you. So let's go and create a lab directly, right? Let me go and share my window. How do I code a new code? I'll copy this. A whole new thing I have to do, man. Let me write from the beginning. I don't like this. What are the things you have? Oh, there's no clock. I think I have to give a clock. Clock A. Can have two clocks, right? And read are independent, right? Let me show two clocks. Address A, D in A, Right, A, CSA, correct? And then you have clock B is already given, sorry. Address B, D out B, read B, CSB, right? Agreed? Okay, tell something is not wrong.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Output. Output is D out B, right?
Sir, clock is not common to both, sir.
Yeah, we can have, I'll come to that. It's a good question. I'll answer in a moment. Input is address A, D in A. Did I define all the ports? Yeah, clock, right? So clock, you can have a common clock or you can have a different clock. So in a few weeks or I'll now or later, sometime later, I'll talk something about a FIFO. You all know what is a FIFO? What is a FIFO?
First in,
First in?
first out.
Okay, what do you mean first in, first out?
It's like queue, sir. When you input the given output will be out first.
Hmm?
The first element of the queue will be out, sir. First, sir.
Yeah. So you're writing some data, 10 data. When you read, the first data comes out. Then after that, second data comes out. After the third data comes out, right? That's the first in, first out. Right? It acts like a buffer. Typically, what happens in a communication system, you all know what is a communication system, hopefully, right? Or internet communication, right? So the transmitter and receiver may run at two separate speeds. For example, I'm saying, right? Right. So then you will have to buffer the data because one guy is sending at some speed, you are receiving at some other speed. It's asynchronous, right? You have to store the data somewhere so that the FIFO is used in that kind of places. So your input is happening at certain speed, or output is happening at certain speed. Okay. So in those cases, the dual ported RAM will be actually used to FIFO will be built around the dual ported RAM. Okay. You're able to follow what I said?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it clear to everyone? I went out of the way to answer the question. Really, I didn't plan to talk about it, but the question is a very good question. That's what I said, right? So does all of you understand the concept, what I said? I'm talking at certain speed. Let's say I'm pretty fast in speaking. And if you go to China, right, if you go to Hong Kong, so people probably talk slow. They won't understand the speed at which I talk, right? I'm sure definitely Yogesh has some problem with the speed at which I talk, all right? So I'll have to really slow down on talk, right? Otherwise, what happens? They cannot receive the data, right? He cannot capture whatever I talk, all right? So that would be the problem, right? So what happens? Let's say that's my natural way to talk fast, but if still Yogesh has to understand everything, so he has to record it. You know, asynchronously, he has to save somewhere. He has to save whatever I'm trying to communicate, and extract the data, extract the speech at a slow speed. You just have a device, right? Does it make sense? So that's like a FIFO, right? You have a recorder device, real-time record. Don't look at the mobile record. It's like a real-time recorder. You can try and do a project. Right? I talk very fast, but no, let's say you cannot understand the speed at which I talk, right? So you kind of come up with a device. So it records at a fast pace, but it plays back at a slow pace at speed at which you understand. Correct? So both are happening at two different speeds. So I speak at a faster rate, so the write operation is faster, but it reads, it slows down and it reads basically, right? So that's why you need two clocks.
Okay, sir.
All right. So not always. So sometimes you don't need two clocks, but you have two clocks. But if you don't want, you can always connect them to the same clock. When you instantiate that component, right, in the test bench. Correct. You can always tie off the clock A and clock B to the same clock called clock, just CLOCK, whatever. I'll show it in the test bench. So that gives you additional flexibility. You have the new design, but how you use it, you don't have to use both the clocks. You can just use a single. You can connect the common clock to both of that. Correct? You're able to imagine? Should I draw that and show you?
Yes, sir.
Let me draw it and show. Okay, you have a clock. This is a clock A. This is a clock B, let's assume, right? So what you have to do is, where is this clock? Yeah. So when you actually connect, come on, it's crazy. Right, I can just short it this way. I'm just connecting the same clock input to both the clocks. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you have advantage. You can connect two separate clocks, or you can connect one clock also. Okay, let me go back to the window. What are you able to see now? Where is the window? Come on. Are you able to see the Verilog code now? Okay. Okay, I've defined it. Let's complete this example.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what should I do? Always at passage of clock A. Begin. And if CS of A and then write A, memory I have to define somewhere. No, I forgot the reg 31 down to 0. TP mem, I'll call it 1024. Depth is, I think I reduce the depth. Let me change address bits here. Right, your address A. I'm putting address is only 9 bits. I'm just trying to do the different way now, so you'll understand something. Okay. Address A, where is address B? CSA and write A. What do you have to do? DP-mem. You have to write now. 12 port mem of address A. What will you write? What should you do? D in A, correct? Yes. That's all, right? Yeah, that's all. This is the right operation. That's all you have to do. So in parallel, I'll do read operation. Always at passage of clock B. What happened? Oh, it's not scrolling down. Okay, it can, yeah. Begin. If CSB and read B, right? D out B, basically DP mem address B, right? And that's all. What is end module? Right? There's no syntax errors. So two separate always block. One for writing, one for reading, correct? So because I don't read are parallel, right? So if you want to do that, I should do two separate always blocks. All right. Did you understand this? What I did?
This is asynchronous DP-RAM, sir.
Yeah, it's asynchronous. Yeah, two separate clocks, no? If you connect both the clocks to the same clock, it becomes synchronous. Otherwise, it is asynchronous.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's look at TB under DP RAM. I'm going to erase the entire whole, man. Let's do from the beginning. Let's do from the beginning. Okay. I think just copy, shortcut, right? Just copy all these things, put it here, make all the input to reg, output to wire. So this is a shortcut, man, understand? Why should I do this? Any input you are going to drive, that's going to be coming from a always block, initial block, correct? Output you have to just monitor. Do you understand? Always
Okay,
at
sir.
Yes, sir.
10 clock A. Oh, order domain forgot. Equal to not of clock A, right? Always
Yes, sir.
at 15, I'll change the frequency. Clock B equal to, right? And instantiation. You forgot the instantiation. DP RAM, U underscore DP RAM. And you will just copy this, I suppose. Now we export, right? I can copy it. You know how to instantiate, correct? Oops. Okay, clock A equal to 0, clock B equal to 0. You just define everything. Address A equal to 0, address B equal to 0. B, let's define all the inputs to known states. All right. CSB, then what? Read B also, right? Correct? So define everything. So after, let's do a task, man. Can you attempt writing a task with 10 more minutes to go? How do you want to do this example? I'll just write some blind code. What do you prefer? Should you do a task example or should you do a regular code?
Task exam.
Okay, you are testing my Verilog skills now. Okay, let me try. Right. Right. You will give address A, DNA, CSA, right A. This is what you have to do. Okay. And task, where is the task should come when? I forgot. Task should be within a module, right? What should I do? I'm forgetting. Okay, I think we have to put some values here. This is wrong. Address is hexadecimal. How much address? 10 bits, right? 10 bits 24. This can give it. Address. Data is 5. And the chip select should be 1 for writing, right? And this should be 1 for reading. Okay. I think you don't have to pass this. Let's go with that as a data. So I forgot. I'll show it. You just hang on for a moment. Sorry. Input 9 down to 0 address. Input 31 to 0 DN. Make the chip select equal to 1. Wait for 10 nanoseconds. Make the write operation equal to 1. Make for 10 nanoseconds. Make the write operation equal to 0. We'll have it for a longer time, right? Let's make it for 30. Right clock is what? 15. Right clock is 10, right? Sorry. Put a C equal to 0. Okay, this is the right operation, right? Okay. I'm doing chip select. I'm giving the right after some time. All right, the data I put in before itself, it's going to come. Okay, let's do a read operation now. Task read. What do you think you have to give? Input.
So,
Yeah.
so instead of giving D in A, ADRR A, we can give ADRR D in the task.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I forgot how to do it. I'm just going to experiment, right? I'm as good as you. I've not coded this for a long time. Let's experiment.
Okay, sir.
Input different delay. Read equal to 1. 25. What is a D out? You're able to follow? I'm trying to do on my own. Should I explain? I'm just trying to define the waveform, basically, right? CSB1 after 25, same thing. How do you do that? I'm trying to put that inside this. Okay, so in the address location, I'm writing a data 5. Let me do one more right. The location 9, I'm writing a data 4. Okay, now let me do a read. Address 10. This is not a dual ported RAM, so let's see this, right? This is a single, looks like single ported. I'm doing in parallel, right? So write the task in a different way. Maybe you do it as a homework. I'll not do that. This is only sequentially it is happening, correct? I'm doing 2 writes and 2 reads, one followed by the other. So it has to, it's not really working like a DP RAM today. So you write the test bench like a DP RAM.
Sir, in read task, need not we give D out B is equal to D out.
Yeah, we'll have to do it. Yeah. Why you know D out here? I don't know. This is not even needed actually. Suppose here. Give is not even needed.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Let's see. Let's run and see what happens. I'm curious to know the answer. Want to work, not work, I have no idea. Error, very good. Good man. Unexpected token always in line number 10. Oh, see here, I used a semicolon. Such a stupid. One more error. Unexpected end, line number 18. See, none of you pointed me the issues, man. Should know more Verilog than me. What happened? Error. Test bench.
Sir, I have encountered that problem before while going there. Why can't we use that and symbol, sorry, and in the word form instead of
Yeah, wait. Hold on. Let me solve the errors. Undefined port address in 35. Oh, wait, I'm defining it here, no?
Sir, wire ADDR, wire D in V.
No, it is not saying that, right? Undefined port is saying. I don't know why.
Yes, sir. We have to define it, sir. Wire D in, wire AD.
No, not required. That's not a problem. It's showing in this particular line, right? Then I understand. We have to see how the task definition works. I forgot. But any of you practice the task, you'll probably will tell me right away how to code this. I forgot Verilog task. What is the mistake here? I thought this is the right thing to do. Undefined port HDR. Let me look at task example, man. Go back to Google. Oh, there is no brackets. It's not passing any parameters, right? Let's see. We did not give anything here. Correct. That's what you're doing, right? I got this now. Error. Oh man. See here. I don't do dump first, right?
Sir, will task return a value?
Yeah, you can output, you can have. You can, no?
Okay, sir.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'll get errors anyway. I know. Good, but I think this way you can learn. Is it helping you or is boring what I'm doing?
Helping, sir.
we are searching for the errors among users.
Yeah, when you do, you'll get more errors. Yeah, so test bench 65.8. Okay, task has to come after that. Okay. What happened is not left assignments, line number 13. Design. Or not register. Wow, see here. Now slowly displaying this error, right? D out B, 31 down to 0. Nothing works. Very good. D in A also is not changing, man. D in A should change, right? Oh, it changed 5 to 4. We're writing the 5, then we're writing the value of 4. When reading, nothing is coming. You're writing here, clock A, you're writing 5, and you're writing 4 here. Okay, here what happens? You're reading. I don't know what happens here. The value doesn't come, so it doesn't work. What happens? Let us see. How do you open the wave? I run it again to see the waveform. Want to go inside this block. Look at this, how the address B. See, address B is not coming here. See, there's some problem. So address B is always 0 here. Let's see, right happened correctly or not. I'm going into that particular block and seeing. So some things are not getting connected. Do you see what I'm trying to do? Yeah, address A, they are coming inside the design. Write is happening inside the chip, but read is not happening. I'm going into the hierarchy and saying it, right? How do you say hierarchy name here? See this TP-RAM CSA. You see here, right? Inside test bench, inside the instance, I'm seeing the address. That is toggling. All right. And here you see the D out. Even the address has not gone in basically, right? Address B inside the DPRAM is not changing. Even though address B also didn't change here. Okay, oh wow. Why is that? Something wrong. Oh man, and this address B, man, sorry. So have you goofed up? Oh, you're not prompting me, man. I'm making a mistake. So you got a 4 value here, right? Give you 10, there's no value coming in. I gave a value of 9, 4 came. So why? 10 was not written here, that means, right? The write probably just went. So to have the write for some more time, correct? What is the clock A speed? Clock A is 10. I will enable the write for some more time. I want all of you to ask a lot of questions. Don't know if you will understand or not. Till the DO doesn't work. Okay, 5 came here. Address 10. Address 9. There's no value coming in here. No, man, you have to debug. I don't know why it doesn't work. You change the 4 here, that 4 got written or not? Data in, address got changed, data got changed, when the right comes, and the right comes here, this clock, it should have latched it. Okay, D in A is here. The D out, reading, CSB is on, address B is 9, same value, right? And the value should have changed here. The next clock, where is the clock? Okay, clock is not enough maybe, right? Let's make the read even more slower. Let's make this little slower. Then probably it may work. It's something like a setup time, man. I think some race conditions there. See, it worked now, right? Understand what was happening? Can somebody explain? Can somebody explain what happened here? Oh man, nobody followed anything. Yeah, please tell me if you don't understand anything. I'll explain. I'll walk through.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please. Hey, ask me questions, man. Don't keep quiet. I don't like quiet classes. It's not your classroom. I told you, right? Your professors will not like no. You ask questions in between. But I like. Okay. So from where I should explain? Should I explain from the beginning or what should I do? Ishwar, from where I should explain?
Waves, sir.
Huh?
So waves, sir.
No, no. Before, let's look at the test bench before you go to the waves. Right? Okay. So this all this you understand, right? What is this portion? Is it clear? I'm putting all the values to 0. Ishwar, you're okay? Okay. So I'm writing two tasks, I'll write and read. I'm saying the address 10 of hexadecimal, write a value of 5. In address 9, you're writing a value of 4. So I'm reading for 10 and reading from location 9. Yeah. Tick H, tick H. Tick, tick, tick. So that location 10, I want to write a value of 5. The location 9, I want to write a value of 4. I'm reading a value from 10 from the location, from the address H, at the 10th location I'm reading, at the 9th location I'm reading. That's all I'm doing, right? Then let's look at the task, right? So you have address and data input. You have two inputs, right? Address and data. Get that. And whatever address you're getting, you're putting the address. Sriram, what is the question?
Sir, what is the difference between tick H and tick B, sir?
Okay. B is binary, H is hexadecimal.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
It's like C program also, right? Bit handing you do use B or H. 0x you use it is of H. You put 0x, right? In C language.
I don't know that much in C, sir.
Okay, yeah, fine. Tick H is hexadecimal, tick B is binary, that's all. Okay, I'm assigning address to address A, assigning the address, addressing the data. And this sort I'm a code I'm generating. I'm putting the chip select to 1. So what is the clock speed of the A? It's 10, right? I'm giving more time. I'm waiting for 15 nanoseconds, assigning the write. I'm waiting for another 20 nanoseconds. I'm doing the putting the write down, and then I'm putting the clock down, CSA down. Okay. Is it clear, guys? I'm generating a waveform for write. Typically used to do in the test bench itself, but now we're putting a task. Whatever you write there, I'm putting inside the task. Similar read also. So whatever waveform I want to generate, I'm putting in the task. So my main body becomes so easier. I can do more write, more reads now. Let's say I can do one more write. Fifth location. I want to write a value of. What value you want to write? I'll read the ninth location again. Right? So adding is more easier now, right? But you have to remove the values what he wrote. Then only can check what is coming out. Okay, see a D in a D out only we have to watch. 5, 4. What happened? Why 5 came? You read value of 5. Then after that you read a value of 4. So 4 appears. Reading value of AA appears. After that 4 appears again, right? Your address is 9. What do you write in the address 9? Read value of 4, right? So that comes 4. And you write value of address F. Write FF, right? And that value comes out here as FF. Is it clear? I would expect you have to ask me a lot of questions, man. I'm not. You guys are not asking me any questions. Guys,
Sir, we'll see the code again and we'll ask again.
that is not happening, man. I'm not getting this answer questions to me. So let's review it. Let's spend 5 more minutes time. Ask me questions now and then, right? And either I get busy or you guys also never ask. It's a problem for me. Do you understand the philosophy? What are we doing, right? Okay, let's do this. You experiment this. You write both. I want you to write your own code and write your own test bench. Use for loops, while loops. I just want to give an example, but none of you bothered to do it. Then how can I proceed further? Right? So next class, we are going to do only assignments. We'll do a Thursday's class is only we'll have breakout sessions on the memories. You have to use all the, I gave the exam homework, right, last time, right? Use the all concept, while, repeat, for, everything you have to use. And there is no generate memories, I told you, right? Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
That is the
Yes,
homework.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, please do that homework and you have to access the entire memory. Write some random values and read random values and check. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. We will try.
Yeah, next class we'll do only this. Yeah. Okay, any questions on what we discussed? Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, please look at it, and the next class is only a revision kind of thing. I want you to come with test benches, come prepared, otherwise we'll have a breakout session and do it. And reply back to that email. All the labs, wherever you're waiting for my feedback, I want to, all of you do it. Who is this class? I want everyone to fill up that. The pointers to the Verilog code. So I'll spend time with you and I'll make sure that I'll set up meetings with you and review it whenever you're free. And I'll have to create
Okay,
time
sir.
to do it, right? It's extremely important.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, no, you'll not get the feedback. Okay, man. See you then. So see you on Thursday, 7 p.m. And there's no class on Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. I'll see if Tanige also can do one of the class on Sunday. I'll check its availability and then set it up. Okay. So we'll have a, Thursday and Friday also we'll have a class then. We'll have one Friday, next week Wednesday maybe. Right? We'll see that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, bye.
Aren.